There we go.
I just gotta share on Facebook. Share on Facebook.
Share on
go.
the book of faces.
Do do do.
Do 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 do. Phenomena. Do 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 do.
Who are you with? Courtney
Do 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 do
and
do.
Josh.
Do do do. Phenomena. Do 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 do. Phenomena. Do 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 do.
Boom. There we go. And then gotta tag a bunch of people. Tag. Tag.
Shared.
No, don't want to do a GIF.
Yeah, I think buying this Play-Doh was probably one of the better decisions that I made today.
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Tagging a whole bunch of people.
Got a whole big rainbow of it in a party pack.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, the party pack had one more than the little, like, baggie of them all loose.
Yep.
So I was like, yeah, I'll spend $5 on that. It's dangerous to go into Five Below.
I usually don't find anything in there.
I
do. Of course, that might just be the one that we typically go to when we're Black Friday shopping.
Yeah, I had to go because I was looking for stuff for my internship because I'm running groups and we're doing artsy stuff. So I already went to Dollar Tree and got everything that I could there.
Yeah.
On my lunch break today. But I had to go back and because I couldn't keep shopping because I had an appointment. So I had to go back out tonight. And then I stopped at GameStop on the way back and
yeah. So
yeah.
All right. Why don't we get started? Since we even started pre-show late.
Yeah.
So starting the show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming up on episode 162, PlayStation 4 makes history, while PlayStation Vue gets canceled, Google Stadia news, and much, much more on the 8-Bit Adventures podcast. Hello, everyone! Welcome to another episode of the 8-Bit Adventures podcast. We are bringing you the latest and greatest geeky news of the week. I am your host, Sean Hayes, and with me are my two exemplary co-hosts, as always, Courtney Bolin.
Hey, everybody!
And Josh York.
Good news, everybody!
Good news, everyone! The solution is now mutagenic! Or whatever. Is it Putrus or is it Putricide?
Oh, I don't remember. I just remember
Putricide?
That's how it started.
Yes.
Good news, everyone.
Yeah.
It's always good news, everyone.
There was a raid in WoW, and there was this like crazy doctor guy, and he had these two like monsters, and you had to fight them both to get to the doctor.
And
I forget when. I don't remember if it was when you fought one of the monsters or when you fought him when he said it.
He says it multiple times through that fight.
I think it's when you fight him.
And he also switches between good news and bad news.
Yeah.
So.
Bad news, everybody.
Oh, Ice Crown Citadel.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of time in Ice Crown Citadel.
Yep.
Real quick, I've seen on Twitch people playing the Warcraft 3 Reforged. They must have got like betas or something.
I think so. I think it also releases like now.
Really?
Maybe, or maybe it is. Maybe it is just the beta.
I'm bet they'll announce the release at BlizzCon.
Yeah.
When that mess of a whatever that's going to be, it's going to be a mess.
Yeah.
I just know I actually meant to put this in the show notes. Yeah, there seemed to be a lot of stuff leaked or announced before BlizzCon even started.
Did you see that picture of Fordring as the Lich King?
I did. Wait, no, Bolvar.
Oh, not Fordring, Fordragon.
Fordragon. Yeah.
Yeah, Fordring is Tyrion.
Tyrion. Yeah.
Sorry, wrong.
Yeah,
one.
No, he's
wrong
just
paladin.
gone. He's just gone. They tried to bring him back as a Death Knight, and he said no.
He said no, thank you.
He did say no, thank you. He was the only one to successfully say no, thank you. Please go away.
It's funny when you go out to Eastern Plaguelands and he's just out there. Like stuff like I didn't realize when I was playing it long ago, and things you notice now. I was like, oh, he's just living in a shack by the river by himself.
Yeah.
And he'd do his little quest line, and his son dies, and he cries.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so sad.
Yeah, there's a lot of sad.
There's a lot of like sons and like family members dying in World of Warcraft.
Sad face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like he's like, go bring this message to my son and save him from the Scarlet Crusade or something. And you got to escort his son out of the fort. And at the very end, he gets taken down. And then his father comes like a minute late.
Yep.
And he's like, look at my boy.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm the greatest paladin of all time, and crushes everybody in like 2 shots all around it.
Yep. That's even before he gets Ashbringer.
He's just using like a wooden mallet.
Yep.
That's just so sad.
Yeah.
Like, my goodness.
Yeah, that Bolvar picture is pretty cool. Curiouser
and
they're gonna do. I don't know what they're gonna do. It's all gonna revolve around like death, I'm sure, because all Sylvanas has been like doing weird death stuff, and there's a whole Vol'jin thing that's unresolved, and a lot of talk about the Shadowlands, and obviously Lich King. We'll see.
Yep. Unresolved stuff with Helya as well.
Right.
Because I don't think we actually kill her at the end of the Trial of Valor or whatever raid that was. But yeah. So yeah, just a lot of unusual announcement. And then the fact that they announced like Deathwing for hero, although, Blizzard doesn't consider really heroes to be much of a thing anymore anyway.
There was something about Overwatch 2 as well.
And Diablo 4.
Yeah, whatever.
I think it was Diablo 4 was like leaked in a poster or something.
Something about for sale. Overwatch 2. It's going to be like there's going to be a lot of PvE stuff in it.
I can see that. I mean, that's something that people have been asking for.
I'd like if they did like a Destiny or the Division or Borderlands style thing with it.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. I would play that.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We shall.
And everybody's cameras just flickered. Yeah, it's happening quite a bit. But so we also got news. Disney Classics, Aladdin and Lion King are returning to consoles.
No, have returned to consoles.
Which consoles?
They came out.
PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch.
Yes. It's available at your local GameStop for $30.
Are they all together as a single package?
The 2 of them are together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It should be noted since it was noted on the Nintendo subreddit. It is not the Super NES version of Aladdin. It is the Genesis version of Aladdin.
Ooh.
Which, so apparently the general consensus is
probably the inferior version.
Genesis had better visuals, but worse gameplay.
Yeah, it looks like they've been
so
cleaned
feels
up.
bad. Curse you, Capcom!
But, I would be lying if I said I wasn't tempted today.
You don't want any part of that Lion King game.
Oh, I tried that Lion King game.
I have the Lion King game.
That Lion King game.
That is just that is an example of kind of bad game design.
So frustrating.
Particularly the level where you have to like jump in the trees with the monkeys or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a pretty notoriously pain
terrible
level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember playing it on Game Gear. I didn't play it on I played it on Game Gear. My youngest brother's Game Gear. So you got to play for like 5 minutes before the battery ran out.
Yep.
That's how Game Gears worked.
Yep.
They're about this this big.
And then you had to dump like 6 more AAA batteries into it.
It was about as big as my Switch, but like 3 times as thick. That's how big. That's how big a Game Gear is.
Ew.
Yeah.
Thank the gods that we have had come to modern technologies.
I'll show you one the next time you're over, Courtney.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it on your cabinet?
It's somewhere. I don't know if we put it out with the good consoles.
The good console.
I don't know if we put it with the rest of the good handhelds. So, I don't know.
That's fair. Yeah, Game Gear was not great.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, it was graphically better and more powerful than a Game Boy at the time.
100%.
But the amount of juice it sucked up and its bulkiness and it was a bit crazy.
Yep.
What, they didn't just run on D batteries?
It was almost like having a handheld Sega Genesis, basically. It was pretty close.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can kind of get behind that.
Yeah.
It was just big and clunky, and it took them. Parents had to spend $1 million on batteries.
Yep.
Here, your birthday present is just batteries, basically.
Yes.
You got stock in Duracell.
Basically.
Yeah.
I mean, cool. I like to see these old games remastered and cleaned up and made it a little bit HD. I appreciate that a lot because there's a lot of games I wish Xenogears. I wish they would do that with.
From what I could see,
or the other Disney games, but again, Capcom
redid DuckTales basically.
They did, and then they pulled it.
Did they? We've had this conversation.
They
before.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they announced that they were going to pull it. And it was like, why, Capcom? Why do you hate money?
I know. Yeah, from what it looks like, it's still pretty pixelated, but they just cleaned it up a bit.
That's fine.
So it wasn't like a full remaster, but they just kind of they put a fresh coat of paint on it. Is the best way that I can describe that from what I saw, at least, and from staff saying what they had seen. So, but
yeah,
I was again very, very, very tempted for about half a second, and then I realized I hadn't fully paid off my
save your money.
I was gonna say, then I realized I hadn't fully paid off my pre-order that I was going to pick up.
Yeah.
And I needed to put that money towards that.
Yeah.
I mean, especially with all the other stuff that's coming out. Like, I'm glad this will appeal to somebody. But as someone that currently owns both of these games on Super Nintendo, I would, there's one of them that I would play.
I don't know if I have Lion King.
Yeah.
I know my Grammy had Lion King, and that's how my cousins and I we would bust out the Super Nintendo, be like, "Oh yeah, this is awesome. We're gonna play this," and maybe we'd get like between the 3 of us, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, because we'd all just get so frustrated and just give up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because we just, no, it just was not a fun time. You're going to have a bad time.
Yep.
And we did. But
what?
Yeah, no, and I have so many other things pre-ordered still, like, that are coming out. I've still got Pokemon coming. I've still got, and then there's all this stuff that's coming out next year. Just picked up Vampire today, which I'm so excited
have an
to be able to play.
Old game like that, like remastered or cleaned up, what would it be? Like from the mid-90s, early mid-90s. Even, I guess I'll say mid-80s to mid-90s, because we'll get the NES in there as well.
I think I've made my position perfectly clear before.
What?
With
Zordo?
Chrono Trigger?
Oh, yeah, that'd be a good one.
No, we don't need a remastered Zelda. We have Breath of the Wild.
You have Breath of the Wild, and you got the Link's Awakening, which is basically that.
Yeah, we got remaster of Link's Awakening, and then A Link Between Worlds was basically a remaster of A Link to the Past.
Kind of, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Chrono Trigger's a good call.
I didn't
Final
have
Fantasy VI would be a good one.
Yep.
I didn't have a console until I mean, like, again, we played at my Grammys, but like that was really the only game I can remember us playing was the Lion King game.
I'll say Xenogears every time.
Well, because my first console was Dreamcast. I
know a lot of folks clamor for a remaster of Super Mario 64.
I'm talking more of the side scroll or pixelated, not the 3D games. 3D games, that's more work than is, I think.
Oh yeah.
Because you're limited by number of polygons there. You're just smoothing out the limited number of polygons you're using.
Well,
so it doesn't get
much
better.
As we've learned with Square Enix, with many of those games, you have to rebuild it from the ground up.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
What I'm annoyed with the FF8 remaster is all the character models they cleaned up, look really great. They didn't do anything to the backgrounds.
Yeah.
So the backgrounds are all still really fuzzy, and right now the modders are actually having a hard time fixing that because of the way they built the game this time around.
What?
So a lot of the FF8 players prefer the 2013 Steam version to the remaster because the mods can do more.
Yep.
I'm still waiting. We'll see.
To me, video games came late in life. I was, was not allowed to have Game Boy. Was not allowed to really have any kind of handheld system. My first system was a Dreamcast. So I had a lot of those 3D games.
Original Contra. That would be one.
Okay.
Star Tropics. Oh yeah, obviously Star Tropics.
Star Tropics. Yep.
Yeah, Star Tropics.
Yep. There you go.
Love it.
Yep. Yeah, I would have to. Yeah, I mean, Chrono Trigger would be the big one for me.
Yeah. That's on Steam, right?
Yeah, it is. It's
I'd
the
be
mobile
curious
version.
What modders have done with that.
Maybe that might be interesting to check out.
I'll look into that afterwards. Actually, I'm gonna open a tab so I don't forget.
Yeah. So, in other gaming news, PlayStation 4 recent sales numbers have pushed it up to 102.8 million units sold, officially making it the second best-selling console of all time, behind PlayStation 2.
Bam! The greatest console of all time.
And actually, I think basically every PlayStation except the third one is so I think it goes 2, 4, 1, and then the Wii. I think is how it goes. I know I can't remember.
Much higher. If you count handhelds, the DS is way up there, isn't it?
That's the thing. Is so this was according to oh god, which article did I read it in? I can't remember if it was The Verge.
Handhelds and consoles are held
but
to
that's
different
or it might have been like Bloomberg or something like that. And I don't know if they were considering the entire DS line to be basically like one
it's
console. Because like you could argue that with all the different SKUs of the PS4, you have all the different SKUs of the DS.
Yeah.
But not the 3DS, because that would be different.
Right.
So wait, are we talking
DS,
like?
Hang on, let's look this up.
DSi, and the yeah.
Yeah, so the DS, the DSi, the DSXL, the DSi XL.
Yeah.
List of best-selling game consoles. This is according to Wikipedia, so take this with a grain of
Wikipedia
salt.
has gotten a little bit more.
So I know it looks like they split it between. Okay, so here we go. So if we're combining handheld and home console, PlayStation 4 now ranks at number 4. PS2 ranks at the top. Followed by the DS. Followed by, they combined Game Boy and Game Boy Color, which I don't know if that's appropriate. I would split off Game Boy and Game Boy Color, but that's what these do. Then PS4, then PlayStation, then the Wii. And yeah, I mean the PS4 is beating out the PlayStation now by like 300,000 units.
Wow.
PlayStation 2 outsold the DS by 1 million units.
Wow.
Then the PS3. That actually surprises me.
I'm very surprised because I would have thought Xbox One crushed it.
Yeah.
Or not Xbox One, Xbox 360 would have been.
Xbox 360.
360s were everywhere.
3.5 million units behind.
Wow.
I even had Xbox 360 and not a PS3 during that gen.
The Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch has currently outsold the Sega Genesis.
It's gotta be getting there.
The Nintendo 64, the Atari 2600, the original Xbox, the GameCube, the Wii U, the Game Gear, the Vita, the Master System, Saturn, the Dreamcast. Here's something that's just sad. So they put the
Sega Master System,
the NES and the Super NES Classic up there as well. Color TV game. What is that? Oh,
I don't know. I feel like we're getting into a Wikipedia spiral.
Yes. So anyway,
we can easily get into a Wikipedia spiral.
I mean,
PS4
color TV system is you're probably starting to look at like all the Atari.
It was a Nintendo thing that was released only in Japan.
Oh, okay.
So that's the thing. Okay, so here we go. So home game consoles, PS4 ranks number 2, and PlayStation is basically they make 4 out of the top 5.
Wow.
With the Wii being the only detractor from that. So
hey,
there we go.
Wii's are still popular.
Well, it's more that they just sold gangbusters.
Yeah.
But yeah. So congrats, Sony. And even though I will probably not ever be a PlayStation adopter, just because I have limited space and funds. To echo, God, I think it was Phil Spencer, basically about Nintendo, but it was like, we don't want to see any of the big companies go away because that would be bad for everybody. So yeah. And let's see what they're doing with a PlayStation 5. Since that announcement's coming soon.
That announcement is coming soon. That's.
I mean, it's already been announced.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we did report that it's officially being called PlayStation 5. And everybody was like, well, yeah, of course it
and
is.
there's been some
Microsoft.
a lot of different leaked images.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't gotten anything kind of stable yet.
I don't care what it looks like. I just want it to play games that I like.
Yeah.
Want it to be backwards compatible?
I would like that. I'd like it to be backwards compatible all the way to PS1, but that's not likely.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing that with the what is it? PlayStation Live? No, that's Xbox Live. PlayStation Now?
I don't know.
It's similar to
Online?
it's a similar game subscription service.
Yeah, whatever their game subscription service is, they
to stream games, and
they put a lot of classic PlayStation titles on there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in some bad news about, well, we call it PlayStation, but it really has nothing to do with the game console. Sony is canceling their PlayStation Vue service January 2020, citing that it just costs too much money.
Sure.
To maintain, and that basically the market seems to be moving away from bundled television services to a la carte services, which I think
it's also
content providers. I think content providers are moving in that direction. We'll see how far the public's willing to go. I think even now it's too much.
It's getting crazy. Everybody's got their own thing.
It's getting to be too much. It's getting to be that oversaturation.
It already is. Disney's got their own. NBC's got their own. CBS has got their own. Everybody's got their own.
Yeah.
And it's rare that there's only one station or whatever that you watch a show or something on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
here's the weird thing.
The reason why I have Hulu is because it's across all of them.
I like how Netflix or Hulu or whatever got a bit of everything.
Yep.
And you kind of picked from which one had the better, or both, but you picked the one that had the better mix of what you like to watch.
Yeah.
Now it's just like everyone saw like the huge success of those things, and they're like, well, we can just pull all our shows and.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I got Hulu Plus to begin with, was because it had classic Doctor Who on it.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely going to backfire.
And then
I think it works.
Pulled all of their classics.
I think it works for things like, obviously, like Netflix, Hulu, and I think it will work for Disney because of the size of the catalog. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how well it's working for, things like ESPN Plus or CBS All Access and everything.
The Ocho.
I think there's a reason why ESPN is being linked in with
bundled
Hulu
in
and
with Disney Plus. Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you get the Disney, like what I'm probably going to do is see how the setup is with Hulu.
Yeah.
And see if like Disney Plus is like an add-on, similar to how HBO is an add-on on Hulu, where you can upgrade and get this channel extra or that channel extra.
I just want one show on the Disney thing. That's
Mandalorian.
Yeah. Like, I want there to be a way that I can just, if I had to pay $4 a week just to watch that show, like rent it or something, I would do that rather than pay monthly subscriptions for Disney, because then I would be done with it after the season's done.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could sign up for it for a month and then cancel it.
Yep.
Well, are they all coming out at the same time, or is it a weekly?
I think it might be a weekly thing, though.
Oh, that I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's a weekly.
Yeah.
So, we'll just have a watch party at my house. Because we'll be getting it.
Final trailer or whatever came out for it this week. Looks
really
good.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw that it came out. I hadn't gotten a chance to look at it yet. Because, yeah.
Yeah, I'm very interested in this.
But, yeah, I'm holding out to see what that's going to look like with Hulu and Disney and all of that. Because I already have Hulu Plus. I don't want to have to pay extra to have it go through an extra service. I want it to be able to be just linked with Hulu. And I hope that they're being smart and they're doing that. Because that's the other thing, is you need logins for all of these different services.
I mean, I'm used to that anyway from having to have like 40,000 logins for work. So.
Yeah, but.
Or just for gaming services.
Also true.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why they now make books that, since the internet really came out, was
this new concept called books. Yes.
No.
It's like, wait, what? I've got a bunch right up there. It's not new.
No, they make like these little notebooks that are like internet passwords for like all of your different things, and you can code them like you would an address book.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, I don't know. You could just do that with a notebook or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a new thing.
As I said, that's been since about the internet.
So, yeah. But, yeah. For anyone that is a PlayStation Vue user, clock's ticking.
Sorry.
So, yeah.
I don't know anybody who is.
I don't either.
I know very few people that do. Also, I think they were citing that the market that for successful sort of bundling users is very crowded, because you have stuff like Sling, Roku, and stuff like that.
Yep.
It was very difficult for Sony to make essentially build its audience in there and make it viable. So I think, you might as well just go with a different service. It was also expensive. It's like $50 a month.
What?
Waste.
Yeah, $50 a month for PlayStation Vue. And that was just for like the basic service. Then there was like premium channels where you had to upgrade. So it's like at that point,
dude, that costs more than cable.
Get cable.
That legitimately costs more than cable.
Yes, because you then still have to pay for internet on top of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, so speaking of subscription services, Google Stadia. Google Stadia. We talked about this. This is Google's game streaming service.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Launches next month. It's actually coming next month.
Nice.
It was supposed to be out already, and then they pushed it back.
Right.
Is that coming to? Because I remember we talked about this with the game streaming.
Yeah.
Is this coming to North American markets next month?
Okay. There are specific markets. It's basically like the U.S., Canada, and a couple countries in Europe, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So it launches mid-November.
Okay.
It will be a paid service initially, and then a free version will launch later. And then, in addition to paying for the service, you will then have to purchase the games individually. I see the face Courtney's making.
I'm trying to work that out in my head as to like what's the legitimate difference.
So it's kind of like if you got Amazon Prime for videos.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you pay for the service.
Yep.
And then if there weren't any free things to watch through Amazon Prime and you had to buy them still.
Oh,
which, like, in some cases you do.
So wait, so it's like buying something through YouTube.
Kind of. But you're not paying a subscription for YouTube.
But you're not paying a subscription for YouTube, but it's similar to how that works on Amazon. Yeah, so it's be like just okay.
Are they going to be full price like normal?
Yes.
Games? Okay.
Yep.
Crap, don't do it. Nobody get it.
That
Here's the only reason why is for people. So its intention was so people don't have to have expensive gaming rigs, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So their cloud or whatever runs it, and you just stream it straight through to you, and you don't have to have any of the hardware.
Yep.
Over time, I mean, I don't know. It seems.
What's the point? So
it's to save you from having to buy the hardware or need the hardware, so you don't need to spend $1,500 or more on a crazy gaming PC.
But you are going to need to have a pretty baller internet connection.
Yeah. And even then, what I was reading was it's still they're going to predict your inputs to save the lag. It's not that it's going to be lagless. It's going to try to predict your inputs to save the lag, or to make the illusion that there is no lag.
That's going to be a problem.
Yeah, I think the phrase negative lag got thrown around or whatever, which is like, well, that's not possible.
I mean, it's certainly possible. It's just AI predicting general inputs for the situation. It's totally possible.
That's going to be a problem.
We'll just negative lag.
Right. The idea of the
like
AI
getting to zero lag. Yeah. And
it's
predicting
not like it's anything complicated. There's a very small number of possible inputs for a game.
Yeah. I just mean, like, yeah.
As far
lag
as
can't
like
go negative.
Computing goes, it's not a lot of things to compute or figure out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it depends on what types of games.
There were... So, we have a list.
Yay!
Assassin's Creed Odyssey being the big one. Google Stadia games. These are so far the games that have been announced.
Well, all that being said, it still seems...
Baldur's Gate 3, Borderlands 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Darksiders Genesis, Destiny 2, Doom Eternal, Destroy All Humans, Final Fantasy 15, Farming Simulator 19, Football Manager 2020, Get Packed.
You'd be surprised, dude.
Ghost Recon.
It's like one of the highest selling games on Steam. It's crazy.
Gods and Monsters, Grid, Guilt, Just Dance 2020, Kine, Marvel's Avengers, Metro Exodus, Mortal Kombat 11, NBA 2K20, Orcs Must Die 3, Rage 2.
Okay, that was my question. I was like, wait a minute. I have Gods and Monsters pre-ordered for Switch.
Yeah.
Because that comes out in February.
Yeah.
Comes out at the end of February.
These are games that have been announced.
Yeah.
There are no release dates for these.
Yeah, I was just...
Red Dead Redemption 2, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Super Hot, Crew 2, ESO, Thumper, Tom Clancy's The Division 2, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, Trials Rising, Watch Dogs Legion, Windjammers 2, and Wolfenstein Youngblood. So, there were also some initial tests by The Verge that got to do like a kind of a beta test of it. So they did report there is some minor amounts of lag that may or may not be up to snuff. I think some more discerning players may turn their nose up at it, and most audiences would be like, yeah, this is fine. What they did note was that, so regardless of whether you're on a wired connection or wireless connection, that there is a noticeable amount of compression going on, both of video and audio quality. Which, yeah. I would say, if you are going to do this service, don't do it over Wi-Fi, or expect things to look like you're watching a YouTube video over a cell connection.
Bad Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So, and that the 4K didn't look like 4K.
See, I think my biggest issue with hearing that predictive, AI,
yeah, that concerns me. That's the most concerning thing.
That concerns me because if you have games like Wolfenstein and you're having to decide which Nazi to shoot, and you wanted to get the one on the left for story reasons or whatever, and it chooses the one on the right for you, that's a problem.
I think we're talking like millisecond time spans for.
Are we though?
Probably.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's looking 5-10 seconds into the future. I think it's like looking half seconds at most.
Yeah.
That would be my guess.
Otherwise, I mean, I could see it being something of like, if you, so using Wolfenstein as an example, like if you run out of ammo, then it'll predict that you're going to reload.
Yeah.
when, like, I mean, in some cases, maybe you might not want to reload right at that second, but like in the majority of cases, you'll probably want to reload right away. Because
I don't know enough about programming or AI to know. I can just
that's my whole thing is just with I will admit I don't know enough about it,
and I
but
can
that's
also
what
that
my brain thinks about.
My layman understanding of it is only extrapolated and compounded by people and engineers who are way smarter than me with this type of stuff and have thought it through. It's literally your job as an engineer is to think about all the problems and how to deal with them before
it's also something where, like, for turn-based stuff, or something that's not real time, it's not that much of an issue. So there's that. I don't actually know if we had anything in that list. Baldur's Gate 3 may or may not be turn-based, so. But yeah. So yeah, just wanted to make a note of that since it's coming out soon. And that is going to wrap up our big news for the week.
Yeah.
So, we just have really quick this week in 8-Bit Adventures. There was no comic this week because I was not feeling well. There will be a filler comic for next week because Megan and I will be out of town. So, but there is, for patrons, a comic of the Speedy and Monty comic.
Yay!
So go check that out. Tomorrow night for Halloween, since almost everywhere in Berkshire County pushed Trick or Treat back to Saturday because it will be miserable.
The wind.
Yeah, it's going to be miserable.
The wind will take a toddler away.
I mean, it's projected to be 20-mile-an-hour winds.
Okay, maybe not a toddler.
Yeah.
But it'll rip your butterfly wings off.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of the fact that it's going to be 45 degrees, rain, and windy, that it will just be miserable.
Trick-or-treated. We
that's all I've been seeing
in hurricane weather, and we liked it.
Yeah, that's all I've been seeing on Facebook. I loaded in from the van.
Stop lying.
I loaded into the van and drove from one house to the other because it was 3 miles around the block, uphill both ways.
I don't remember. All my Halloweens are pretty normal. I lived in Cheshire.
Well, also,
here's the thing. We walked around the block. And I was like, is it?
I mean, here's the thing. Kids aren't going to care if it's October 31st or November 2nd.
No.
As long as they're going to get
around and getting free candy.
Yeah, they want to dress up in costumes and get their candy. So
it's an inconvenience to adults more than kids.
Yes, it is.
Yes, because it means that I have to go to the grocery store on the 2nd.
It means I'm going to turn off all the lights in my house and sit here playing video games on Saturday, pretending I'm not home rather than Thursday.
But relevant. So since there isn't that, and as long as the power holds out, because I don't expect there to be any problems, but as long as the stream holds up.
I hope there's not power outages tomorrow night.
Super Ghosts and Goblins is gonna happen.
Oof.
Spoopy!
Oof indeed. At least we'll see how long it lasts.
Just oof. Why would you do that to yourself?
Because it's the only spooky game that I have that I'm willing to play.
Because he is a glutton for punishment.
Want to play Resident Evil 2 with me?
No. No, I don't. I really don't.
Nope. Nope. And I don't want to play whatever Travis and Brian were playing on Yeehaw Game Ranch either. That game looked terrifying.
The latest one?
With the dolls.
Oh.
Yeah.
What was that one called?
I don't know,
Pacify?
But it was terrifying. I think it was
called Pacify.
It was terrifying. Just watching the little video.
So that is a game where you play as like investigators, and you go look at this house, and it's where a girl died through like some sort of like ritual act or something. And her ghost haunts the house, trying to turn things into dolls to like I don't know, complete the ritual or something, to summon like a demon.
No, it's absolutely terrifying. God, is what that was.
And what it is, so basically you have like, so picture like Samara, right? but like sometimes she's like upright and walking around, like that creature from Ocarina of Time, deep in the Kakariko Well, and sometimes flying around like a banshee with the hair flying everywhere and everything.
Up in your face. It's terrifying.
And then we'll catch you, and then it like basically like cuts out and then flashes back on, and where she's like flailing her head all over the place, right in your face, kind of a thing. I do like the fact that she doesn't kill you or maim you or whatever. She just turns you into a doll.
Yeah, which is creepy too.
Yeah, but it's less scary than. Also, her mouth is taped.
It's just creepy. Who cares?
I mean, I know
creepy and a crime, and neither is D&D.
No, but at the same time, that thing kind of gave me nightmares, and it was like less than 5 minutes of watching gameplay.
A little bit.
I do not have a strong constitution for that type of stuff, man.
Like, scary games don't scare me. Things that give me nightmares is like running dungeons over and over and over and over again and not getting the loot I want.
Yeah.
That's what gives me nightmares.
The spookiest thing, Alien, having to run.
Upper Blackrock Spire!
Yes, yeah. Spookiest thing, dude. Upper Blackrock Spire.
I had to sleep with a nightlight on and have my boyfriend tuck me in for 2 weeks after watching Alien. Yeah. Courtney does not like spooky.
So I was a dumb kid.
Not like scary, does not like
Jurassic Park when I was in 3rd grade. I lived in Cheshire. It's a small town with a lot of woods and forests, and we lived near like the edge of the forest, kind of.
Yeah.
Even though we're in the center town. But after watching Jurassic Park, I thought like maybe there's dinosaurs in the forest. Like that looked pretty realistic. Like maybe some crazy rich guy did this in Cheshire, and there's dinosaurs in the woods. And I would sprint home from Cheshire School to my house, which was maybe about a mile. Not quite. And I would just book it, thinking that like the dinosaurs I was gonna see the trees start moving, and a T-Rex was gonna bust out of the forest and chase me. So I would run home.
Meanwhile, Sean was, I for one welcome our dinosaur overlords. But yeah, Resident Evil, though. Like Resident Evil 1, no, nope.
Just nothing with evil in the name. Sorry, no.
Well, no, it's just because I don't like big dogs. And so then when you have big grotesque zombie dogs, that's a problem. So.
Funniest thing was when I was really little, the Wicked Witch of the West scared me.
And now she's her fave.
It is, and now it's my favorite movie.
Yeah.
It comforts me during heartache. And I was terrified of the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah,
so
I don't really have any spooky games on Steam. And then
Super Ghosts and Goblins is fun to watch because it's going to be fun to watch you try to beat that first couple levels over and over and over.
Because Sean, what time do you start stream again?
So, the stream will start at 8 p.m. On Thursday.
I might be home in time.
Okay. I mean, well, I don't, might do an extended stream. But yeah, and I've never played it. So I think
what?
Yeah, I never played it.
Never played it?
I think I played.
The Nintendo guy has never played Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
I think I played Ghouls and Ghosts once at an arcade in Disney World. Or maybe it was Ghosts and Goblins. It was whatever the arcade version was. I played that. Did not get very far. And was like, man, this game's hard. I think it was also I just got stuck. Like I didn't die. It was just like I couldn't progress any further. And I was like, I don't know what to do.
It's a typical game.
So yeah. But yeah, we'll be playing that. And then Friday, we return to join our terrible band of heroes. Not that they're evil. Not that heroes. 100%. Just kind of like as if they were the heroes in a Mel Brooks film. So effectual heroes?
Yeah, that's about right.
I mean, you did kind of help save the city from the undead.
Saved the country. Not just the city.
Maybe.
Maybe even the world.
I don't know. Let's not get that.
There's a lot of other problems happening in the world right now.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
We saved the world from one potential future.
We saved the world from devastation. No.
No. No. Nope. Because there's all sorts of bad stuff going on elsewhere in the world right now of Jemmora. So, but yeah, we get back to that, and then hopefully, I'll have to check the holiday schedule and see if we can avoid that stuff. I think unfortunately we get hit with Black Friday. But yeah, so it'll be good. Be good to get back into the studio playing with the Backstreet Sharks.
I just want to play.
Yes.
Yeah.
And at the very least, my top half will be dressed as May. I'm not sure about the pants yet. It's supposed to be chilly.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna bring a sledgehammer then.
Sure.
Only if you decorate it with puffy paints.
No, I don't think PCTV wants me running around their studio with a sledgehammer.
We'll have to get confirmation from our producer. So.
Yeah.
But yeah. And that that basically pretty much wraps it up as far as this week in 8-Bit Adventures. It was kind of a light week. So yeah. Still trying to figure out some short form YouTube content. Trying to decide if I want to do like a DM help corner. And I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of those.
There are.
So yeah. We'll see. But yeah, it might just be like an AMA type thing. Just like ask me questions, cool. I'll answer them. And then if you want help, like how do tool checks work in 5th edition D&D, I will answer those questions.
Yeah.
So, let us then discuss quest log.
Yeah.
Quest log is where we talk about what kind of cool and awesome, nerdy and geeky stuff we've been doing over the past week. Mm-hmm. Courtney, would you like to go first?
Yeah, I actually, between ankle break and other mishaps this week, I actually got in a little bit of time on Stardew Valley, and I am like super excited because I got Chime Sharp. It is the sequel to a 2009 game Chime, which was on Steam, and I absolutely love it on Steam, and I wanted it to come to Switch. So I was super happy when I found that, because I hadn't looked on the store in a while. But basically, it's like Tetris, but with it keeps the beat of the of time, and as you add pieces on to like cover the whole board, you actually like build up the music. So the more that you cover, the more intricate the music gets. And it's really fun. It's really relaxing, which is actually really why I played. Because I needed to relax and not think about things for a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's really hypnotic. It's really one of those games that you'll like get a couple hours in because you'll be just playing and you don't lose lives, so you can just keep trying. And it's a really fun game. I really enjoy it. It's definitely another one that, if you're on a commute or something, just plug your headphones in and play a few games of it. So I'm like super excited that that's out. And yeah, I picked up Vampire today because I had pre-ordered it. I literally don't know when I'm going to be able to have time to play it. But I got it because I really want to be able to play it.
Cool.
And if I have it, then I'll be able to play it as soon as I get time.
You should play it tomorrow night. Because it sounds spooky.
Maybe after my MRI.
Maybe.
And before work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, that's what I've been doing on top of all sorts of other health nonsense. But yeah.
So Josh, still WoW Classic?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's
Are you living your nightmares?
Yes.
Just constantly running Upper Blackrock Spire with your shaman?
Just playing shaman is a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's the worst. You do the most threat but the least damage.
Yep.
You can't have fun because you will definitely you will probably pull threat no matter what you do off the tank. But if you actually try to hit your abilities, you will definitely pull threat off the tank. It's just not fun. But when you hit that Wind Fury proc, oh baby, makes it all worth it. When you hit that Wind Fury proc, baby.
Do you know what that's worth?
Oh God, it's just
yeah,
that's it. That's the only thing that keeps me going. The shaman is those Wind Fury crits. That's it. Waiting for PvP to come out.
Yep.
Like the Honor and Battlegrounds. I'm on PvP servers, so it's like people just sit in front of flipping instances and kill each other. It's really annoying when you're just trying to do what you gotta do. But looking forward to when eventually actual PvP comes out. I bought my epic mount the other day for 900 gold. Ugh.
Congrats. That's
a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. Yeah. But now I'm on a fast mount, so that's out of the way.
Yep.
Raiden, Molten Core, and Onyxia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm second in line for Hand of Rag when it drops in my guild. If it ever drops. That's the gamble on that.
If it ever drops.
Yeah. That's like a 3% drop on the last boss in a raid, so you may never.
You've got a better chance of getting the Petrified Ancient Leaf.
2 hunters dropped 2 weeks in a row for us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hunters.
Yep.
Hunters got that. One of the priests got the benediction item the other day, the Eye of Shadow or whatever.
Nice.
We haven't even killed Ragnaros yet, so every week that goes by and we don't kill him, that's less. And like half of the items I need fall off Rag. So like that's a big pain. It's just God, but whatever. That being said, it's fun to play with my friends. That's like I said, the main thing that is the fun bit. So yeah, that's WoW Classic.
Yeah.
You're like, that's all.
It's a game that's 15 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, when I played it originally, I came in very late, didn't know what I was doing. So it's a bit of a different experience now, being super experienced in MMOs and WoW in particular, and just like
now it's you know what you're doing and you know where you're messing up.
And it's actually everybody kind of knows what they're doing. So the experience is definitely different, particularly like running dungeons and raids and stuff. So it's easier because everybody just has so much more experience under their belts and like knows what gear they're supposed to be wearing, and like it's not, you're just like, oh, this is plate but it has spell damage on it, I'm a warrior, sure, I guess it's plate, right? It's not, people know what gear to wear, whether even if it's leather or mail. When you're a plate wearer, like that might be better for you. So for me, I'm wearing almost all, like 3/4 of my stuff is leather, and I can wear mail just because it's, for what I'm trying to do, it's just better. Like the mail gear kind of stinks. So it's, everybody kind of knows that now. And there's lists out there like, here's the item you should be going for. It's just, and that wasn't out there 15 years ago.
Well, and it's, if you get hit, you're gonna get one shot anyway. So
that's just how Classic is anyway. Classic's just that way anyway.
Well, yeah.
I don't think.
But what I mean is, so it doesn't matter if you're wearing leather instead of mail.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. Quick story. So I was out farming Essence of Earths or something, just to gold farm the other day.
Yep.
And this mage, and hey Alliance, I hate you because of this. Here's why. They never fight you like regular. They wait till you're out of mana or low health when you're hitting things, and they come up to you and like bop you once or Kona cold you or whatever, and you're done. So whatever. I'm sitting there like after fighting a couple of these guys on low health, low mana, and I'm sitting there starting to drink my water to get back mana and eat my food. And this mage just comes up and Kona colds me. I'm like, oh my god. So I run back, and this is like the normal occurrence. I run back and I find him. I just crush him like 3 times in a row. I do the same thing. I watch from afar, wait till he's low on health and mana, and I run up and just whack him with my axe. And then I camp his body and wait. Every time he reses, I run over and hit him again. So I'm like, okay, that I did it like 3 times. Like, that's enough. He gets the message. Stop messing with me, and I'll stop messing with you. I go back to farming. He comes up to me again.
He didn't learn.
I see him. I see the red name coming across the map. I'm like, okay, I was at full mana, full HP. I'm like, he's waiting. So I just run at him. He runs at me. He does the frost mage thing. I'm frozen. I can't chase him. Like, he's got me. Like, it's fighting a frost mage. Like, there's nothing I can really do about it other than pray I get a Wind Fury proc. He gets cocky. He's got me frozen. I'm at like 10% health. He walks up to me and starts casting Frostbolt. He's within melee range. So I hit him once. Brap! Wind Fury crits. One-shot him. Full health to 0.
Wow.
It was great.
Wow.
So like little things like that are kind of what make it worth it. So like it was an annoying thing that turned into kind of like a fun thing. So that happens enough that it's. But again, I will say that there's a lot of things about that game that are poorly designed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Lost Wild Classic.
Yeah. So Megan and I watched Invader Zim Enter the Florpus.
What is that?
That is the movie that Netflix produced.
Okay.
That's out. Yeah, remember we talked about the Invader Zim and Rocko's Modern Life movies that came out and there wasn't really a whole lot of fanfare?
I never really paid attention to the Invader Zim one because I wasn't an Invader Zim fan.
Yeah, I like elements of the show, but it was more that we were trying to find something to watch, and Megan was like, I want to watch that! And I was very surprised, because I didn't think she was an Invader Zim fan. But, so we watched it. It was very Zim. It was good. They kind of, like, wrapped things up with the series, so, like, there's not really a reason to make any more. So,
yeah.
I guess you could say it put a nice end point.
End cap. On
the Zim series, yeah. I don't want to spoil anything, so... but I mean, you get all the major characters there. And they kind of touch on, like... Although it's weird in that, like, nobody's aged, but they do touch on the fact that, like, it's been years since anybody's seen Zim, but, like, Dib is still, like, 12. So... I don't know what's going on with that.
Wait. Is this like a Fairly Odd Parents type of situation?
I think so.
Where he just asks to be 10 he wishes to be 10 forever, and like because that's only logical explanation I can understand.
I mean,
well, there's no wishing because it's not a fantasy show; it's a sci-fi one.
It's a TV show. Just because X amount of years have passed in real time doesn't mean that continuity has to continue in the show's time.
Well, I think it might also be like the Simpsons effect.
Right, exactly.
There we go. Yeah. Maggie should be out of the house with a, car and job and a life of her own. No, she's still an infant.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it was decent. If you're a fan of Invader Zim, you should probably check it out. I mean, if you're a fan of Nicktoons in general, you should probably check it out. I know, it was just a lot of, like, gratuitous screaming, because it's Zim, so, yeah, so, I mean, I was a little off-put by that, but,
I always liked it, that was the Nicktoons that I was a little too old for, but my youngest brother, that's, like, the stuff he was watching, because there's a 6-year difference between us, so I was in high school when, like, Zim was out, and Fairly Odd Parents and that type of thing.
Yeah,
but my youngest brother was in late elementary.
Yeah,
that was me.
Yeah, I know. Rocko.
I always watched it just because he was watching it.
I will be a lot more interested to see the Rocko movie.
It was allegedly pretty good.
I was not allowed to watch Rocko as a child.
That's fair.
So I binged it.
That one makes sense.
Yeah,
Yep.
there was a lot of things
Of
I
all the
wasn't
stuff you
allowed to
weren't
watch as a
allowed, I could
child,
get Rocco,
and I
actually.
actually
Yes.
understand most of the things that my mother said I could not watch as a child. I
Literal
actually
episode,
understand it now.
Rocco works for a sex hotline.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Literal.
Yeah.
I'm not making
Yeah.
this up. I'm not.
No,
It's
I
not
know you're not.
hyperbole.
Yes.
I'm not embellishing.
Yeah,
Literally.
it's
But no,
basically
see,
he's looking for a new
Reptar
job.
was my pal with the
Yeah.
Rugrats. So like,
I always
Yeah,
wanted
it's
the
just like
Reptar candy bar they showed in Rugrats. Remember they had the Reptar
Yes.
candy bar, and it was
I
like
do
it
remember
was
that.
basically like a caramello. It's basically what it was. And
Yep.
caramel's like my favorite candy. So I was like,
Yeah.
I want that Reptar with the caramel in it. I wish it was real.
Yeah.
And then
at certain shops it is.
It probably is.
I also have been playing on the free trial, so I'm not getting quite the full experience, but Final Fantasy 14.
Nice.
Because I still just been on the fence about coming back to Warcraft, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think there's some things that I don't quite know how I feel about. I think I don't know. I feel like a lot of like the abilities and stuff just kind of lack like impact.
I could agree with that to some extent.
And there seems to be like a little bit of, I don't know if it's lag or whatever, but like it seems like when I deal damage, it's then like a half second or whatever before seeing the effect of like the enemy's health bar or something. And that's just a little like it's
there's also
a little weird.
There's a longer global cooldown in that game than there is in WoW.
Yeah,
so if you're feeling like something is off, like it might be that in the flow of combat, because it might be even twice as much as WoW's GDC.
I'm not having a problem with that, because playing as an archer, I have a bunch of abilities that are off cooldown. So it's often the case of like I'm often having to go like, oh my god, I have too many things to use, like boom, 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 boom. It's more of just like that. It's like just a feel to it where like when like I shoot an arrow, I want it to like feel like it has an impact in the enemy, and at the same time it impacts, like the health bar goes down, and it feels like it's like I shoot the arrow, there's not really much of an effect, and then like a half second later the health bar will decrease. So it's just a little weird mental thing. Yeah. However, I really like the gathering and crafting systems. Where it's almost like a little mini game for crafting. And then I do like how they do gathering, where there's like a bunch of different skills that you can use and stuff. Especially, apparently they just revamped crafting yesterday.
I had read something about that. Yeah.
I was very confused when I logged in and half my skills were gone. And I was just like, I didn't read the patch notes, I don't know what's happening. And it seems like now it's whereas before you had a chance to fail while creating an item. Now it's, if you're just going to make like a base item, you don't really fail. It's more now, so it's now instead of like, oh, how am I able to make the item? It's now, how am I able to make a good version of the item? And you can fail if you plan poorly in that regard. Like if you don't give yourself enough times to actually craft, and you instead focus too much on improving quality, you can fail. And I feel like I like that better, where it's like if you're just focused on like, I'm just gonna like make a base item, I should be able to do that. Whereas what I really want to do is like try and make like a masterwork item, and then oh no, I messed up and now I don't have enough points to make the item at all. My own undoing.
Right.
I like that system. And so basically I've been playing archer, botanist, leatherworker, and carpenter.
So
which have really nice synergies.
They're all different classes, right? So
yes.
Botanist is a class. Like you switch classes, and that's why you get all the other botanist abilities. So it's basically you have another class that is your crafting class.
Yep.
It's not just like a thing you do. You have to change to your botanist class. Yep. And like all your skills change to the botanist stuff, and you do all the botanist things.
And sort of like Monster Hunter, you change classes by switching your primary weapon.
Yep.
So, yeah.
What level are you?
I am
archer.
As my archer, I think level 15, 14 or 15.
because
I think it's 15.
your crafting levels like a character as well.
Yes. My archer is my lowest leveled class right now.
Oh man, you do.
It was I started doing there's also like these guild laves.
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
like special guild quests. And I started doing those, and I got a ton of experience doing those. And didn't realize it, and suddenly like power leveled all of my side classes. So yeah. Botanist is cool. Botanist gets stealth, which is interesting.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, because they know how to hide within stuff. Sure.
Yeah,
I'll
but it's like Archer doesn't. So it's like I can't sneak around as an archer, but I can sneak around as a lumberjack. Which is basically what botanist is. Botanist, so each class like also has a primary weapon, and some of them have like offhand weapons that help you stuff. So botanist, it's an axe is your primary weapon, and then your offhand weapon is a scythe. And what you do is use the axe to chop down trees, and you use the scythe to basically like chop down bushes.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
And you need like a whole other set of gear for your crafting.
You do. I have 3 different sets of gear.
Yeah.
One is my
I kind of like that.
My crafting set, my gathering set, and my and then my combat set. Yeah. I like the fact that with leatherworking, I can basically make gear for the other ones. And then carpentry lets me build bows for my archer class. And then botanist lets me harvest wood for carpentry. I also like the fact that I can just buy resources from merchants and not have to rely on the auction house to get like leather.
That's nice.
And the fact that it makes crafting a viable way of getting, like a very slow going but viable way of getting money.
Yeah.
Because it's not like Warcraft where, you know, in order to get the resources, like you would often be selling finished goods at a loss.
Right.
Whereas, you know, now, like I'm selling it a pretty tidy profit.
Even
just selling it back to NPCs. And then the problem is that I level up enough that I need to re-outfit my characters in gear and then spend all my money. But yeah, so I'm excited for that. I'm excited to get to the point where I can go to other areas, so I can learn fishing and cooking. Because
what race did you pick?
Of course, you want to learn fishing.
I do it because apparently fishing is an entirely separate minigame. So I picked elves.
Okay.
This is the other hang-up I have. Is the elf models, I don't know what it is. There's just and this is apparently something that I have seen, is that elves are just designed weird.
Yes.
That they're very off-putting.
They have a weird like torso ratio.
Yes.
That's what it is. They have a weird leg to torso ratio.
And their necks are super long. And
and that was the other thing I was gonna say, and their necks are kind of weird too.
Yeah.
I can't
like I thought for the longest time that I'd just like, oh no, I messed up my character's jawline because I kept like changing the jaw when I was making the character and nothing would change. And I'm like, oh no, like is it just lagging out and I'm not seeing the changes? Like what happens if I pick the wrong one?
I'm surprised.
And then I'm like, oh, this neck looks so weird.
The lolly whatever, the little ones.
The Lala something.
Guild?
Basically, yeah. I thought about it.
I mean,
but I was like, but they're dwarves.
There.
I mean, sure, they're Final Fantasy dwarves, so they're more like little gnomes or whatever, but like they're still dwarves. Yeah, I'll be an elf. Yeah.
Have you done any dungeons yet?
No.
I
have not done. I haven't done any group content yet.
Oh, really? You don't need to.
I have done some special. I don't know if they're fates, but they're like areas where you get teleported to a place. And I mean, and you're just fighting like with NPCs, kind of a thing. I'm still very early in the story.
That's like story quest stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm still pretty early on in the story.
Yeah. I'm sure if you're focusing on crafting and stuff.
Yeah.
What do you think about the game visually?
It's pretty good. Yeah. I liked the art style is pretty good overall. I do like, it's weird going from like Warcraft to that game just in terms of like the mob count. Because at least the early areas, like there's enemies everywhere. But like they're neutral, so like you can just run through them and everything, but it's just like it visually it's very busy. There's a lot of information on the screen at the same time. And I've been trying to figure out how to like reduce the amount of information but still play. I've also been going back and forth between controller and keyboard, so I like that controller is a viable option.
That is true. I forget about that. And it's all cross-platform, so you could be playing with people on their consoles.
Yep.
That's kind of cool.
It is very cool, actually. It was awesome. When I was playing, I was in a guild or whatever. Are they guilds? Whatever. I forget. I don't remember if they're called guilds in that game, but whatever.
Free companies, I think.
Free company. That's right. And most of them played on PS4. It was it was interesting.
Yep. So, unfortunately, though, because of how the Switch Pro controller works with PC, is I have to boot the game. So, like, I didn't download it through Steam. So I have it separately, but then I have to add it into Steam as a non-Steam game because the controller's set up through Steam and not like through just the PC or whatever. So essentially I have to boot it through Steam even though I don't have it through Steam every time if I want to play with the controller. I have to do the same thing with Dauntless. And it gets kind of a little cumbersome, but but yeah, all in all, it's been very enjoyable. I do find, at least like with a lot of like the sort of background lore, like I'm kind of only half paying attention.
Yeah,
because it's just like, again, it's a lot of information. Like
there is.
I'm sorry, like I'm not gonna read your 3 paragraphs of text in dialogue boxes on a quest that's just, killed 10 boar.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really care why. I'm sorry. Just tell me what I need to do.
I think the only ones I ever paid attention to were main story quest ones. Because they were mostly voice acted and like that was the main story.
I haven't heard any voice acting.
Really?
And I don't know if it's just I don't know what's going on with that.
I think all the main story quests were.
Did you check
like
your
I feel
settings?
like it's supposed to be, but like I'm not hearing any voices. I might just have to check my settings. I'm not sure. But
I was gonna say
I was very surprised.
Because sometimes voices are on their own.
I can't remember because it's been a while. But it also might be one of those deals where it like voice acts the first couple sentences and then you got to read the rest.
Yeah, I haven't heard any voices.
But there definitely are some.
Yeah. So, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I'll definitely keep doing the trial, and then I'll see where we're at with that.
Cool.
So,
fun.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not. I still got a whole bunch of other games to finish up.
Yeah, MMOs are an investment of time.
Yeah.
But that being said, because FF14 can almost be played like a single player game because it has like a story that goes throughout the leveling process.
Yep. So, yeah. I also don't know. I think I still have quite a bit of time, like, because it's a 30-day trial.
I think it's a 30-day. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm not dying. I swear.
So I basically have like most of November. So, but yeah. All in all,
cool.
Good stuff, Square Enix. Just fix your elves, please.
I mean, you got to give that team on that game a lot of props because that went from one of the worst launches in MMO history.
Yep.
To it's either, if it's not the number 1, it's definitely the number 2 MMO right now as far as population.
Oh yeah.
Goes.
That's the thing. That's the other thing. I don't like so I put my character on a server that Josh's character was on in case he would ever want to come back. And apparently it's a server that routinely has a queue time.
Oh, sorry.
So
well,
I have to wait.
Here's the other thing. A bunch of new stuff has just dropped this week.
Like
a new raid dropped.
I know.
And
I mean,
so a lot of people are trying to get in.
Let's be real. I don't wait very long. Like, it's like there are 10 people in the queue.
Oh, okay.
You know, not like Warcraft, where it's like you are in, like, when an expansion launches and, you know, you try and play day one, you're like, are...
WoW Classic was insane.
Yes.
Was insane.
You know, you are 47,000 in the queue.
Yeah. It was literally like 13,000 something for a lot of people. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
On multiple servers. It was insane.
Yeah. But it's fun. I mean, I even just, it's a game where I enjoy playing the little crafting minigame. And, like, that's all I did last night.
Yeah.
Cool. After watching Talks Machina, I crafted. And then yelled
crafting
at things when...
you'll just be fishing.
Yelled at things when I got the quality up to 100%. And then I was like one essentially craft action short of completing a bow, and then had to do a last ditch effort and do like the 50% might work, might not, where it's 250% efficiency for crafting it, and then it fails, and then oh no, I wasted all those resources.
Oh boo.
It's a bow where I have to make 2 more bows in order to craft that one. Because it's like... So you have to build like a basic bow. And then in order to build like the advanced bow, it requires a basic bow. Plus a couple more materials. And then to craft like the tier 3 bow, you have to craft it using a tier 2 bow. So, yeah. Or just running around chopping down trees. That's fun too. I do that. So yeah. I think that is going to wrap it up for this evening, folks. So thank you for joining us for the 8-Bit Adventures podcast. If you would like to see more content from 8-Bit Adventures, be sure to check out 8-bitadventures.com. Over there, you can find comics, podcasts, artwork, streams, everything. If you want to help support that content and get access to cool exclusive comics and content, be sure to check out patreon.com/8bitadventures. Big shout out and thank you to all of our current patrons for making stuff like Berkshire Bites, our other podcast, possible.
Yeah.
Our opening theme is
Monty Comics.
Yes, and the Speedy Monty comic. Well, that's a reward for patrons. That's not, patrons make that possible. But our opening theme is One Up by Professor Shy Guy. You can find his awesome work over at professorshyguy.bandcamp.com. And with that, we are out. So, as always, have fun, everyone. Happy gaming. And enjoy your pie
and
cake.
Use Frost Shock.
Bye, everybody.
Use Frost Shock, yes.